Welcome back. Or not even welcome back. This is the Reason Doubt Podcast. If you're not familiar, get familiar. Reason Doubt Podcast, Season 1, Episode 1, the introduction. We back again. I know our listeners that seen us before, heard us before, is looking like, damn, what they talking about Season 1, Episode 1. This is the reintroduction to Reason to Doubt, though. So we back again, but back for the first time. Either way, how you want to say it. Here, this is the Reason to Doubt Podcast. For all y'all that don't know, I am the host of the Reason to Doubt Podcast. Jay Sims, the Supreme Pie God. And to the left of me, we got Juice. Get that lemonade. Get familiar. To the left of Juice, we got
I got that water. I did it by being myself with no dramatic acting.
Mr. Be Yourself himself, DJ Steeno.
Yes, sir.
To the right of me, we got
Look at his kicks. Look at his car. All I say is
Joe Jack.
Big Joe Jack.
And to the right of him, we got
In the building.
KD, man of many names. And like always, if you're watching us on YouTube, watching us on Spotify, watching us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, wherever you see in these videos and these visuals, it is always shot by AE Media.
Only reason I ain't on is I don't pick up the phone.
It's more than just
Twitter.
freaky
Too
shit
filthy, dude. Too filthy.
Oh, X, and I even
I
called
was say
Twitter.
it ain't
no
called
more.
Twitter no more.
X.
See,
like
that's
Prince.
why. Yeah. For
The
listen,
social media formerly known as
that make it even worse. X.
This is being
Sounds
shot
like
by
a porn
this is being
site.
shot by Aaron today. last episode was Lil Deuces. This is Aaron.
But this is the Reason to Doubt Podcast. We coming straight out the Midwest. You know, this is 5 black men coming to you live and direct. You know, like I said, my name is Jay Sims. We started this 4 years ago. So this is Season 1, Episode 1. The 180 episodes we did prior to this, that's our
It's practice.
practice in a way. You know, that was Season 0 though.
Season 0. That was the
Foundation.
Drew League. Goddamn it.
I'm thinking AI
Minor
practice.
league. That was minor league.
Practice.
Now we're in the big league.
Yeah. You know, this is going to be Season 1. This is Episode 1. So anybody that's never seen us or ever watched us before, this is going to be your introduction to us, the Reason to Doubt Podcast. I think people know us and see us and know we do something, but they might not even be aware we do a podcast. We might be more popular than the podcast, just as us being the individuals we are.
I think that's true, especially since all the things we got going on. Like we all got our hands on a whole bunch of different stuff. So you might be more known for something other than the podcast, but we do a podcast every week.
Exactly. You know, so in this episode, we're gonna be giving our thoughts and perspectives on what to expect coming from this season coming up, and just our perspectives on life. You know, we got a lot of interesting topics we're gonna tackle in these episodes, and we're gonna be more in depth and more conversations that's like critical and have you think. The people that was here for the first 180 episodes, we're not gonna get away from us because our personality is entertaining. We're gonna be funny. We're gonna have our jokes, but at the end of the day, we wanna speak and say something.
South got something to say. Or the Midwest.
If you're listening to us on Apple Podcasts, making sure you give us a 5-star rating and leave a comment. Give us that 5-star rating. We ask for 5 stars. So that helps us with the algorithms. That helps us do things. And then leave a comment. You give us a 5-star rating, you can say whatever you want to say after that. Don't really matter, you know.
think that's the best support. 'Cause, you know, we all got stuff going on. We got stuff for sale, but it's free to subscribe. It's free to leave a comment. It's free to give us a rating, and we appreciate that sometimes more than you purchasing something from us. Because we trying to grow this, so make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe, shout us out, tell a friend to tell a friend, all that.
Yeah. You know, the Reason Doubt podcast is it's a podcast that we tackle many different topics, many different things, but you know, main thing we're gonna do with all our different personalities, we're gonna challenge like conventional thinkings and conventional things that people think are just of the norm. All of us gonna be able to challenge that and give y'all a view and a perspective on how we see the world, you know, and we're gonna stand on it. Stand on business. Ain't that what like Drewski said?
We're standing on business.
So with no further ado, man, we're gonna get into this episode, man. So let's kick this off right now. You know, like I said, this is for the people that are first time listeners, first time viewers, everybody that's just now tuned in. We're gonna give y'all introduction to who we are. You know, when we start this show, you hear me introducing everybody. I'm hitting drops and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, that might be new to y'all, but my name is Jay Sims on IG, the Supreme Pod Guide. You know, we started this podcast 4 years ago, and it was my idea, and like, I was always into podcasting. You know, I played ball, played sports, you know, all through high school, college. You know, went to school for mass communication and broadcasting. And it was something that I always wanted to do, but never found time to do it. Then podcasting came along. I became a fan of that because I already was into the journalism background and everything like that. And I seen the opportunity, and I seen me and my brothers had in-depth debates and conversations other places. You know, it might be a barbecue and we arguing about something and everybody got their own point of view. So podcasting just seemed right, you know, and I wanted us to do it, and my brothers trusted me, and that's how we got here, you know. My thing with the podcasting, my thoughts on it changed over time. You know, I wanted just to give my opinion on music at first, and then I thought about like cultural things and stuff. My main thing, I just want to be a voice for a younger me, somebody that people can look up to and you know, take ideas from or get inspiration from. Just give people game in some type of way, in my own way. So that's what I want to bring to the podcast world. So Juice, let the people know a little about you, man.
So I'm Juice. Kind of like he said, I grew up sports background. I played football all the way through college. Graduated with a degree in business, which I'm pretty much using now. I'm an entrepreneur. I got several different businesses, you know, one being Retro Worldwide, which you see Katie over there, got one of the shirts on. 1/3 owner of that, you know what I'm saying? High grade fashion brand that's growing, you know, daily. Retro World Goods on Instagram. Also owner of Juice Lemonade, right there behind Jay Sim. Something I came out with about a year ago. So, you know, lemonade taking over the world. And then I'm just an entrepreneur, you know what I'm saying, in my everyday life, you know, with trucking and different things like that. As far as my everyday, you know, my go-getters. But as far as the podcast, you know, I feel like it was a way for me, you know what I'm saying, to be a voice for the younger generation. You know, everybody that's up here right now is, you know, fairly older than me a little bit. So I just kind of get to give that, you know what I'm saying, that younger generation view of things, you know what I'm saying. Not that I disagree with everything that they say, but, you know, there's always two sides to every story, you know what I'm saying. And I feel like, you know, as far as my generation goes, I got a huge voice when it comes to different things, you know, not only just with the world of entrepreneurship and things like that, but just also dealing with the youth, you know, coaching sports and stuff like that. So I just feel like it's a platform to just be involved with so many different things all in kind of one realm. You know what I'm saying? We up here, you know, one minute we can have a serious conversation. 1 minute we can be promoting something. The next minute we can, you know what I'm saying, be debating about some funny shit, you know what I'm saying? So it was always something. I came in kind of later than, you know, everybody else, but it was always something that I was a fan of, tapped in with. Not only Reason to Doubt, but just podcasts in general. So, you know, it was a great opportunity and exciting opportunity for me to, you know what I'm saying, be more of a part of it. And so, you know, I'm here.
Steeno, let the people know.
What up? What up, world? John Steen, DJ Steeno, Steeno_ get that water on Instagram, man. I'm here. Father, man. I'm a father, hardworking man. I DJ. I got a clothing line that I've been doing for 5 years. Entrepreneurship. And I do a lot. Coach. Sports. I'm here to give the world a opinion of a middle class citizen. Somebody you see that you know at the store you talk to might give you some game, might give you a joke. But that's me. I'm here. That's what I'm for. I'm all about family. I'm all about my friends. As you see, we're here. And it's what I do.
Joe Jack.
Big Joe Jack. Joe Jack, Big Joe Jack on Instagram, Joe Jack on Facebook. Business owner, entrepreneur. Hoodie season, you see it. Camp Jack is the brand. Advocate for mental health, podcaster, YouTuber, father, son, brother, all of that good stuff, man. I think we like Sim said, we came about just sitting around talking, having different conversations. Everybody, Sim kind of became the great debater, so most of the time we all jump him in the conversation. So it really, we really had a podcast before we started a podcast. It just wasn't no cameras and microphones. But I'm an ex-introvert, so I decided to do a YouTube channel, which kind of got me out of my shell. And then Sims came to me and was like, "What you think you want to do the podcast?" And I'm like, "I don't know anything about podcasting," so I said, "Bet," because anytime somebody that I trust or I believe in got an idea, I'm with it. You ain't really got to explain too much to me. But at the same time, if I'm a participator, be in it, I'm going to do my homework. So I sat down, started looking at podcasts, listening to podcasts, and podcasting is still fairly new to me. I think it's more like a modern day talk show / radio show. It's just kind of however you put your spin on it, but I think it's interesting listening to. I was always, pretty one-sided whenever it came to different things. So podcasting has definitely opened up my way of thinking. Seeing things from a different perspective. That's very important in life, and that's pretty much. I never really explained it. That's the evolution of Joe Jack into Big Joe Jack. I grew a lot just being around y'all. I learned something from each and every one of y'all. Like even with Juice being younger than me, like I can always put my pride and ego aside and listen to somebody that's older than me, somebody that's younger than me, somebody that got more than me, somebody that got less than me, somebody that been there before. And I think that's important. Old me probably wouldn't have done that. And so, like I said, I kind of take the title of an ex-introvert. I was always quiet, reserved to myself, but I got a very, very, very interesting story, and I think me sharing that can help others and inspire people to, face adversity, keep pushing, and, make something out of yourself, follow your dreams and all of that. But this is the Reason to Doubt podcast. I'm 1/5, and I'm Big Joe Jack.
KD.
For sure, man. I'm KD, Fresh60 on Instagram and Snapchat. Hardly Fresh, depending on the season. I'm a family man, ex-football player, sports guy like everybody up here. I'm into guns,
I feel
dogs.
I feel like the thought in your head. I meant to.
He's finna say something crazy.
No.
Wait
For you thought I was gonna say something crazy.
No, because you started smiling. I'm like,
Oh shit!
I meant to.
I'm gonna start over.
Go ahead.
I mean, yeah, he threw me off. I'm like, huh? I'm into dogs. I'm into guns. Recently just got into Harleys, getting on my old man, grown man type shit. But other than that, you know, what I bring to the podcast, you can get a straightforward, raw, controversial opinion. You know what I'm saying, from me, and it's gonna be a little bit different than everybody else. I really don't go with the norm. I speak my truth, or try to, my truth, and I try to stay straightforward with that. You know, so it's it's frowned upon sometimes, but you get what you get when you talking to KD. So exactly. So that's what I bring to the pile.
So, like, I know people that's thinking, they watch it. We just gave a little brief introduction. They be like, oh, they're a lot similar. The beauty of this show is we're not. Like, it's diversity in our conversation, our looks on things. Like, we in here, I don't know if Juice really even got it, but, like, just for instance, R. Kelly. We got 3 people in here that love R. Kelly. They love they're gonna listen to R. Kelly. Me,
Love his music.
love his music, but me personally, like, I ain't with it. That's just like one thing. It's many different things we don't agree.
I think he bogus, but I'm still listening.
No, just don't even think about that. We ain't about to have a discussion about dude. But I'm just saying, with people listening to us for the first time, like, well, they are sports guys, stuff like that. Nah, we age range. I'm 34, Juice 25. The age range is different. Our perspective on life is different. We was all raised a different way. So this ain't no podcast where we gonna be agreeing on everything. Like, these things, we got different views on the world. So I don't want people that's first time listeners checking it out like, man, I don't know. Now you gonna get to some interesting perspectives on life with Reason and Doubt. But the vision of the podcast, we spoke early, we speaking on this, like, the Reason and Doubt podcast is a cultural influential podcast, if I can categorize it, which we're going to be talking about important topics, not so much trending topics. Our first 180 episodes, that's what we were doing. The trending topics, we were giving our perspectives on them, and having some fun with them. Not saying we're just gonna get away from that 100%, but this reintroduction, this first season, is gonna be more things that's about us, exactly. So, with that, I think with Reason and Doubt, providing guidance to the youth, I think that's one of the main focus that I want to give. How y'all feel about that?
The youth need help. We needed somebody like us.
Yeah.
And right now we're in the perfect position to be able to help and give guidance to, as you said in your introduction, the younger version of ourselves. There's 1,000 of us out here. Mm-hmm. Little kids that don't know, that we know. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, we can reach millions with this. So it's a whole bunch of us that don't know what we wish we would have, that we know now that didn't know back then. So we are in the position to help them. That's what I see. That's what I see us doing.
I wasn't trying to correct you. I'm just like, yeah, you right. There's thousands of us like us that we know, but for the people that don't know what we trying to do or our actual movement, we are trying to reach millions.
Yeah.
So like whenever people be wanting us to do this or think we should do that, like that's cool and all, but our vision is a lot bigger than people think. It's because we come from a small town, so it's like it's a small town mentality for the most part, but we don't have that mentality. So I think it's important for us to get our messages out and kind of keep doing what we're doing. Most importantly, lead by example. I think if you don't know you might not know exactly what we doing or our mission, but you know we doing some dope shit though.
So like, I just want Reasons of Doubt to be a place where it's like we gonna open the dialogue to different things that are talked about, but people beat around the bush or don't want to really say what needs to be done or why things are going the way they're going. And I want to have fun conversations about anything, about who the GOAT and sports or music or anything like that. We gotta be relatable to the listeners in a unique way. Like we 5 men coming from the Midwest, you know what I'm saying? It's more of us in the world than it is the celebrity podcasters that you listen to. Like we can give a perspective that's more relatable to the common man, you know.
I think that's what Steen. That was part of Steen's introduction. Like I'm a regular middle class black man. Like it's a bunch of me's. It ain't like, you know, we do talk about trending topics. Most of the trending topics that we talk about are about celebrities, and none of us can really relate to that lifestyle. But it's billions of people that can relate to this lifestyle. So I think it's important for us to talk about this stuff and have these conversations.
In the season, right? In this season, this is the introduction episode. But when we go on in the season, like I said, it's different topics that we want to tackle. And we're going to bring in guests this season on helping us with the topics that we're talking about. So, like, I was talking to somebody, and they was asking me about what's unique about you. Why do you want to be a podcaster? What's different? What can you bring different? You know what I'm saying? And I'm telling them, like, my perspective and the way I look at certain people and the way I look at the world is just different than other people. They was asking me who I want to interview. I said, I want to interview Allen Iverson. Like, that's that person. That's somebody I look up to. But if I was to interview Allen Iverson, my interview would go way different than the normal person that interview him. I'm not about to ask Allen Iverson about every question about, man, when you crossed over Michael Jordan, like what happened, or his NBA career. I want to talk to Allen Iverson about how he's the cultural icon that he is. And like, I'm going to talk to him about his contrast between hip hop, the streets, and how he brought that to sports. I want to ask him, do he understand his influence on the world, not just basketball? Like I'm going to get in depth with people in a different way that I don't see other people do.
You're going to make him think.
Exactly, but I'm going to ask.
He doing routine interviews. Mm-hmm. Like everybody's asking the same question. Like you said, man, when you cross Michael Jordan up, that's an iconic highlight. You know what I mean? And he done had that conversation.
We done seen him talk about that a million times. You know
like, so you gonna ask him.
And I get on some BS and ask him, man, how was you feeling when you had to whoop your cousin upside out his head for messing with your wife? You know, them the questions that people really want to know. You know what I'm saying? So
walk out.
Me, myself, I'm going to always.
And I would, you probably should save that to the end of the interview. But I'm not saying don't say it, but like that probably should be towards the end of the interview. But that gives you
that's what I bring to the podcast.
And to think about it, like,
I'm gonna give my honest opinion, and I'm going to say what I want to say and ask the questions, you know, stuff like that. That's what I bring to the podcast.
And that's an important part of the podcast.
You know, it's just, it's in the world of podcasting right now, you know, it's been like it's conversation. I don't know if y'all seen it, but it's conversation. They saying like podcasting is dying because like the interview is going out of style. Like people sitting down, you see like Drake and them sitting down with the white girl that's supposed to be silly and shit.
Pisses me
the
off.
Funny Marco shit. Like nobody really doing serious interviews no more and shit. But I feel like that's because nobody doing nothing different. You know what I'm saying? Nobody caring about what he's doing. But I'm talking about what us though. I just gave an example of like the people we interview, the uniqueness, but even with us, our conversations. This season I want to talk about, you know, the impact of sports in the black community. But in a way, not really that get talked about, like the importance of it. Like we talk about sports and you know, people even down sports in the black community. Like, damn, everybody just want to. It's more than just going to the NFL and NBA or something like that. But it's a reason why sports is important. You know what I'm saying? Especially to our community and stuff that people don't even really talk about. And I want to talk about the bad side, about the people that don't make it, that put they all into it and it go bad for them and stuff. And I do got a surprise for this season. I got somebody with a very interesting story that's gonna help us break down that type of topic. So that's just one of the things.
I think minus myself, I feel like all y'all got a different story about sports, about kind of like not making it where you thought you was gonna make it to. Like that kind of fuck with your mental a little bit, but I think that's an important conversation to have.
Yep. Analyzing, we're gonna have debates about hip hop, you know what I'm saying, in a way different though. So like we'll have a debate about hip hop being influential, about which ways is good influential, which ways is bad influential. Like, or is it even that influential, like to make people do bad things? Because I've seen that argument before, but I don't see the right people talking about these things. You know, we all got kids, teenage kids, grown, you know what I'm saying, that's really getting affected, or they generation somewhat getting affected by the music in a way. But is it really affecting them because we listen to the same type of music when we was younger? You know, like these is conversations that need to be had, I think. What type of things y'all want to get into this season?
I want to get into the real discussions, you know, the discussions that, you know, people might sweep under the rug, or people, you know, just like Joe said, I want to address that's the best way to put it, you know, that I want to ask the questions that everybody might not ask, you know. I want to ask the questions that they might come and try to write out. Nah, we ain't gonna even do the interview if we can't ask that question type shit. You know what I'm saying? So that's the type of, I want the questions.
So like we got an episode this season where it's gonna be like the importance of like a 2-parent household and the relationship between men and women. You know, of course we're gonna have a woman, maybe 2 women on that episode to give us some pushback on the way we look at things. I think that's something that we was missing too. We need a woman's perspective on some of these conversations.
On a lot of these conversations.
Not a lot of them. They need to hear what he's saying.
Listen, the world need to hear what.
I don't even be wanting no back and forth sometimes. You know what I'm saying? But
I think with that being said, I feel like it's something that you kind of left out. The reason to doubt, we're pushing for a network. So the reason our podcast, this is us. But overall, the vision for the for Reason to Doubt is to form a network. So we have female guests, and we've had people that we reached out to, people that we had conversations with. So we can have a female podcast up under the Reason to Doubt network. We can have a podcast of younger, like teens or something, on our network. We got a big vision for Reason to Doubt. So it's not just about the Reason to Doubt podcast and us. It's like we making moves. Like Sims might fly out and do an interview by himself. You know, that's okay because it all comes back to the network. So that's the vision for Reason to Doubt, is to have a podcasting network, and maybe not even stop there.
Informational network.
And you know, I want us to kick too. Like I want us to talk, have fun, also like in a way where how we talk about trending topics. It be some wild going on in the world. So I do want us to make sure, like before we started, you know, I don't even want to date it, but it was like Kevin Gates on stage spitting in people's mouth. Like, I feel like that stuff could be
That
funny
shit
in
look
a
good,
way.
like mono, like a. Do they still got mono? Growing up,
That
they
shit's
still
still
got
out
mono.
They got COVID too. Like, but it's just different things. Like,
That's crazy.
That shit worse than that.
but it's just different things. Like we can't get past that. But I feel like it's things like Patreon that we gonna try to establish with the Reason to Doubt. So people that really mess with us and support us, when we doing episodes, we might end the episode on a cliffhanger and say, meet us on Patreon. And we going to review this Drake album, or meet us on Patreon. We going to end this debate on who the, you know what I'm saying? It's just all type of thing. So that's going to be something that's coming up that I need y'all to look out for. But we also just going to have debates and conversations about things that I think are said too much in the culture. Like, people always saying the culture, like, I feel like Reason to Doubt, I feel like we can define what the culture is for somebody that hear that buzzword and don't know what it means. Because I think that might, and I think it means something different to each of us. You know what I'm saying?
So KD got a white friend, and he asked him a question, a cultural question. And so he felt comfortable enough to even ask him, and it was kind of like a legit question. So it's just like you said, we can be the people to translate, to bridge that gap. You know what I mean? Me and Juice had a conversation the other. What were we talking about?
I mean, we talk about a lot of shit.
No. So
I was trying to see what we talk about.
we do talk about a lot.
What was we talking about? What?
No, I drew a blank real quick, but we was talking about, because Sims made me thinking about it. We was talking about the importance of sports. And we was talking about, like when kids don't have something to do, or they don't have a sport to play, or something, like, somewhere to be, like that what can happen.
We was talking about like how important it is, because I've seen real life examples of personally, like, literally people that I grew up with committed a crime at the exact same time we had a football game at, and the coach didn't let them on the football team because they came, a week late or however many days late past the cutoff or whatever. And that literally, how ironic is that? That
coincided
their life.
Sent you down the road for some years at the same time that you otherwise would have been
playing football.
See, I was like my nephew going through a similar situation. He didn't get into any trouble, but he was playing a different sport all summer, and then he didn't really have time to go through the motions with the football team, and he kind of came at the last minute. And the athletic director turned him and like 3 other really good players around. And it's like, in my opinion, I understand, like, you got structure. Like, structure pretty much runs the world. But at the same time, you have to give them a chance, because these are kids. And so I feel like he should have gave them a certain task to perform. It should have been a hard task, but at least give them the opportunity to perform this task, and then you got the opportunity to be on the team. But just turning them away,
go like Coach Carter,
community,
1,000 push-ups,
no, for real,
Suicide.
Yeah, so in our community, like, it's not good for a young black man to have too much time on his hands, and so he should be playing football, going to practice, going to games. And I think that keeps you out of trouble. But like I said, that's a later on conversation. But me and Juice was actually just having that conversation.
But even we want to be entertaining, so we want to talk about things that y'all want to hear too.
Oh, they gonna be dry.
So like, even just like I said, people always saying do it for the culture and everything like that. The word get brought up relevant every day. That's something that irritates me. People calling who's relevant, who's not relevant, and stuff like that. I want Reason to Doubt. I want us to define some of these things, and then like put an end to it almost. Like, I want people to come back and be like, Reason to Doubt said this, or Reason to Doubt said, you know what I'm saying? I want people I want us to stamp it. I want us to do it in a way where we all got our words out, our views out, shit like that, where we can end it, and then it can cause another conversation off the platform. We want to just be in your face all the time, social media. We don't want to. We want these episodes to live on and be used for a reference for somebody that don't know nothing. Just informative. Like, I got an episode. Me, I'm into music. I love like checking out the new music. I love the classic artists, the classic albums and stuff. And I feel like all of us got a love for music in a way too, like many things. But who don't listen to music? Like, you know what I'm saying? You gotta be a weirdo, like, to like I don't like no music. You gotta be a crazy person. So I want to define what a classic is. Like how this generation used the word GOAT too much. Like everybody to GOAT, everything to GOAT. The classic get put on too much too. Like Drake album just came out at 6 o'clock in the morning. By 10, they were saying it was a classic. You know, like I think that gets done too much. So
these terms being used too loosely.
So I want us to have an episode where we define what makes something classic, what makes an album classic, you know, and we can tell the people what our classics are, you know. So
I think the OG term get thrown around too loosely. It's a lot of terms that just get thrown around too loosely. We can have a conversation about it.
But while we revamping and everything like that, we're gonna be sharing like throwback episodes. You know, when I do interviews by myself, I call Eliminate the Doubt. You know what I'm saying? That's the extension of Reason and Doubt. But let's eliminate the doubt with each one, a one-on-one interview with each person sitting up here. So we can, if y'all missed it, we're gonna let y'all, you know what I'm saying, do your homework. Like my boy say,
J Man.
J Man, do your homework, you know what I'm saying? Like we've been doing this, you know. Like the thing about it, like we giving y'all insight on the upcoming season, but I want us to reflect on a little bit of what we've done already. You know, we not new to the podcasting. You know, people that don't know Reason and Doubt, we, like I said before earlier in the episode, we've done over 200 episodes. You know, if you go through the catalog, our archives, you can see about 100, episode 180, something like that. But we've done over 200 podcasts, easy. We've done 3 live shows, you know, full crowd, you know, shout out to Conservatory.
Classics.
You know what I'm saying? We got 3 classics.
3 classics. 3 classics.
Sold out show.
3 classics.
Sold out show.
We got 3 classics under our belt. And that's another thing that's coming along. Like the live show aspect of Reason and Doubt is something that you got to experience. If you haven't ever experienced it or you don't understand what it is, you got to come out and see it, you know.
We also collaborated on the 4th show, so it's kind of like if they get a Grammy, we get a Grammy. You know what I'm saying? If they get an award, we get an award because we was a feature.
Yeah, shout out to my nigga Terry Rosen. What's a highlight of something that y'all remember that we've done so far? Even like a classic episode or something like that that people gotta go back, do their homework, check out. I'll go first. Okay. I know what you about to say, but I'll go first. Our classic episode, the most views to date, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to Keywan. Keywan from the St. Louis Ticks, the first time he came through. I think I got it. Oh, yeah, right here. Episode 43, Keywan came through, the first celebrity.
He's a celebrity.
He's St. Lunatic, man.
I didn't mean so much for him, but we ain't had a lot of celebrities on, you know what I'm saying? Right. But no, Keywan was our first, you know, legendary, you know, somebody that's part of the St. Lunatics, where we from the St. Louis area, so that was big for us. He gave us a backstory on creating country grammar and everything like that. Wasn't no beef shit in there, you know, it was just a good episode, you know, that was a classic episode. Check that out. That's the one I think. What you about to say? What episode did you check out?
Atlanta, man, the walk off. I don't remember what episode number that was.
I think it was 88.
Yeah.
Take it, let me.
But I just say that because, like, if you really watch the episode, like, everybody get caught up with the, you know what I'm saying, the whole what happened.
With Juice, he talking about the episode. Episode 88, we took a trip to Atlanta. We interviewed Ali from the St. Louis Ticks while we was down there. Yep. And we also interviewed a young lady named Dominique Danielle. She's followed on Instagram and everything like that. Got a whole bunch of followers. She's a great girl, man.
Hometown girl.
Homegrown, you know.
That fronted on us.
You know.
Don't get that out there.
She got a little upset and she walked off, stormed off. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
People thought it was staged for a little minute.
I guess it's not.
They made like a meme out of me after that.
Yeah.
They made a meme out of me.
Yeah.
He was shook.
I was confused.
I just
I
think
tried
though,
to
like
keep
if
it
you
cool.
really watch the episode though, like we was just kind of like making her stand on. What
I don't think she
said.
understood what a podcast was.
Yeah,
And see, and to me that was confusing because she got like somewhat of a first of all, she's like a influencer, creator, and she had like she was on the radio or whatever, so she got like a broadcasting type background. So I thought she would be used to having different conversations, and apparently she wasn't. Or she just, I don't know. It got weird, and I was confused. I swear to God, I swear that was not staged.
Some people just can't,
It
you
got
know.
weird.
Some people really can't handle like a debate because that's I was in full debate mode. So it's like
I feel like we was all clicking, like everything was clicking, and it just
So,
it was
yeah,
bad
like,
for her.
Might have felt like she got jumped.
yeah, if you really listen to it, it really was just we was talking about topics, and then Nicki Minaj got brought up. She said one thing that wasn't like factual, and we just challenged that, and that just took it somewhere else.
But not even really in an argumentative, aggressive way. It was really, in my opinion, a regular conversation. It was like, to me, when you like Drewski, when you stand on something, you ready to fight for that shit though. And she's fight or flee.
That's why I said it was like no malice in none of our heart. We was just talking.
It was filmed. So if you can go back and watch it and be like, I don't really see. I don't know where it went left.
She was mad because y'all was playing with her in the beginning. That's what all stemmed from, huh?
What was playing with her about?
when she said something about she said something, I commented on it, and y'all was like, what you mean by that? That's what set her off.
I had to rewatch it.
No, she thought
that y'all was insinuating something when
no, she thought you was insinuating.
she thought because y'all kept asking me what she said. I said something like yeah. And then Joe was like, that was too many years. What you mean by that? And that's what set her off.
I'd have to rewatch it.
That's light though,
huh?
I said,
but I mean
light.
that remember because that's what she said afterwards.
She was trying. She thought like somebody insinuated they had sex with her or something like that.
No, nobody said that. But one of the conversations that me and her did have before the camera started rolling is she tried to, in a jokingly manner, in our neighborhood, like she grew up down the street from my grandpa's house, and I grew up towards the top of the area or whatever, and she was trying to make it seem like that I really wasn't from the area because I was more towards the outskirts.
And she ain't know who you were.
And she acted
like she didn't know.
Like she didn't know who I was. You can't be from Martin if you don't know Joe Jack, and I'm saying that in the most humble way.
She said she ain't know you, bro.
Stand on business, dog.
Standing on it.
Fuck what you talking about?
I'm standing on it.
Man, what's another episode?
Ain't
man?
nobody coming to see you, Otis. Nobody.
She taught me two things though, but
She taught you what?
shit, Nicki Minaj got more money than me, and that I can't rap. That was it. The only thing I got out of it.
That didn't mean shit. The first basketball game when I took that spiel. Yeah, I took that dive.
People that don't know, we had 3 Reason to Doubt weekends where we give back to the community, free food, free giveaways, just have an event, and we have a basketball game. And we 2-on-1. Damn. For the first year.
Man.
Yeah, first year I was out there, I had got in a little shape, and I was trying to run up and down the court with these athletic guys, and slipped on some water or something and ended up falling. It's clips out there of it, but
Slipped on some water. It was 90 degrees out there.
yeah, they wet the court down.
Man.
But it was good. That was a classic moment for me.
I think I seen some spit.
Yeah, you wasn't on the court. You wouldn't have known.
What's Steeno? What's the moment for you?
I'm gonna say live show number 2.
Yeah.
Live show number 2. We was in rare form. I think we did pretty good. And for, like you said, for anybody that don't know, haven't seen it, y'all need to check us out. The live shows is somewhere you need to be. But it all comes from episode 1.
Yeah.
Horrible.
The first live show?
No, our episode.
Oh,
Yeah, to be where we are today. Go watch that.
go listen to
Yeah,
that
go
first-
listen to that. Go check
Was
that
it
out.
bad?
Yeah,
was
we was
bad.
bad, man.
You know what I'm saying?
It was bad.
We
know
was
what I'm saying?
I
bad.
feel like we wasn't that bad the
You know what
first.
I'm
I feel
saying?
like the second,
Well,
third, fourth
first
was terrible.
First season when everyone got first 4, 5,
First
6,
10
7.
pack.
What? Oh, it was bad. So to see where we are now and
the growth.
the growth, and then to for us to rebrand and really broaden our horizons and see what we trying to do. We had sunglasses on in the dark at first.
Yeah,
Just saying.
I think another one though is just the first live show we ever did. Like, I knew after that show though that we got a voice, and that's kind of important. That fact that we did a live show, we wasn't doing no music, we didn't tell people we was about to make a whole bunch of jokes or nothing. We literally just was out there talking. Of course, it was entertaining or whatever like that, but we was just talking. And when I was looking out into the crowd, just watching all them people like just engaged, like drawing off every word we were saying, I knew we was doing something right.
I think the live shows for sure. I think just having somebody get up, so have somebody prepare, get dressed, put their makeup on, pick an outfit to come out and see you. I think that's a big deal. Like whether it was one person or 50 people, just the fact that somebody took their time out to come see you. So,
Wasn't that during? Was that during the pandemic or was that too?
Nah, it was after the pandemic. It was
Really?
after, yeah. Cause remember we was gonna do a mixer and kind of like a live show. That was, and then it got canceled because of the pandemic. The first time.
But I mean, it was still going on because it's still going on now. It wasn't like was it mask? It was
over.
after the mask.
He was back at work and shit. It was after the pandemic.
Yeah, we ain't had one before that.
but I think episode that people talk about a lot that was the sneeze. Classic. The sneeze was a classic.
Sneaks,
That's
Or
crazy.
what the get back.
And it's just crazy.
The
that
Get Back wasn't as I'm not gonna fake it. The Get Back was not as good as the original.
The originals.
Meet
Original was crazy. Like
the Doubter was cold too.
yeah,
the
Meet the
skits.
Doubter was
Like we
cold.
just said the skits, the sunglass skit, but that
I feel like that's
that
something we
wasn't
need
a
to get
skit.
back
Like
to.
the
too.
sneeze was a skit.
No.
We need to get back
But
with the
I
skits. too.
I think when you bring up the skits and then Meet the Dallas and all that shit, we just gotta give a shout out to A Media, man. Salute to Lil Deuces, because when Lil Deuces came around, shit turned up in a different way. We had more creativity coming with the show. You know what I'm saying? So
I think it's important for everybody to just be themselves, and everybody bring what they bring, and that's what forms the Reason to Doubt podcast.
So, in closing, man, to this introduction episode, like I said, this is the intro episode. From this episode, you watch this episode 2, it's gonna be a turn up. We're gonna get to it. Have these conversations. Y'all gonna be able to see the debates. You know, this ain't no first take, but gonna be similar.
Gonna be up.
in a way. So, man, first things first, I want to just say thank you for anybody that ever bought a T-shirt from Reason to Doubt, press play on any podcast, on any video, like the comment, pick, you know what I'm saying, did anything, show any support, man. I appreciate all of y'all. If you ever made a hating comment or anything like that, appreciate you too. You know what I'm saying? Anybody,
bunch of them.
you know what I'm saying? But all the people that just supported us, man, from day one, we appreciate y'all. And all our new supporters, all our new listeners, we appreciate you too, man. I just want people just to know we just trying to inspire people in a different way. Show people there's other things they can do. You can do whatever you want to do. And I know people say that like it's like a cliche, but I really believe that. Like, you put your mind on anything, you can do it. Anybody got some last words?
Get y'all shit together, man. It's up. Bringing the doubt. We back in full effect.
If y'all watching on YouTube, we gonna be mannequins for all this fly ass gear that we got. So you know what I'm saying. Y'all gonna see it here first, the majority of the time. So y'all need to get on them Instagrams and get on them websites and buy.
Tap.
I ain't got nothing for sale yet, but it's coming. You can get a dog right now.
Get you a dog.
you might can get you some fitness gear from me in a little bit. So we working on that too.
But make sure y'all stay on the tune. This is episode 1, season 1 of the reintroduction to the Reason and Doubt podcast. Your popcorn, get your whatever you're gonna do. Put your AirPods. You're gonna listen. Check us out, man. But always remember, I end every episode the same way. Reason and Doubt, we have a saying, got a quote, I got it on my shirt, on my hoodie. But just because they couldn't do it doesn't mean you can't. Thank you for listening, man. This is episode 1. See y'all, man, next week. 1.